Jesus here, and today I want to share with you some of my finds that I've picked up recently. So let's get started. I walked into a Toys R Us recently looking for some Bioshock 2 figures, and was very happy to find the Big Sister. Great game. I finished it recently, playing on Evil. It was awesome. And while I was in there, actually, I found some Ratchet and Clank figures, which I absolutely love the Ratchet and Clank series. That's Commander Quark. He's awesome. And of course I had to get Ratchet and Clank as well. Some of my favorite platforming games on the PlayStation. I love those games. So that was in Toys R Us, and then right next door there was a Half Price Books, which is one of my favorite places, and found some games. But let me get started with my PlayStation 2 games. Now, I have a theory, and that theory is that the PlayStation 2 games are at the lowest price that they're going to be. It seems to me that you can pick up some great PlayStation 2 games out there, but there are some that are becoming rare, and I have a feeling that if GameStop and Target stop carrying PlayStation 2 games, that we're going to start seeing the rise of prices. And so I'm out there actively trying to get these games while I can. One of those games that I found recently for $5, which is a good deal, is Blood Will Tell. And this is a game that actually, surprisingly, is going up in price. It must not have sold well, and is highly recommended, I guess, from a bunch of people. I haven't played it much yet, so I can't really tell you what I think about it, but I will in the future. Another role-playing game that I was really trying to find for a long time is Dark Cloud 2. And this is a game I also feel maybe didn't sell very well, but it yet is loved by a lot of people, and so I'm dying to play this. Dark Cloud 2 feels like it might be one of those RPGs that maybe in 5-10 years might be a lot of money, and so I was very happy to find that for $5. Another game I found at a GameStop, the only copy in the entire Seattle area, was Okami, and this is a game I've been looking forward to for a while. Basically, you are a white wolf god, and it deals with brushstrokes. It's a beautiful game. I put about 3 hours into that. I think it's pretty cool. Another game that I was kind of curious about, I don't even really know how to pronounce this, but it's Genji, I think, Dawn of the Samurai. Another game I was basically wanting to pick up, before it becomes rare, and so I only paid $5 for that. Off Craigslist, I found a guy who has blown out his entire video game collection. He's moving, and one of the Gamecube games I've been looking for a long time is the top-down shooter Ikuraga. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Basically, this is like I said, a really cool top-down shooter. I played a little bit. It's hard. It's really fun. I hope to play it some more and get much better at it. Definitely a cool game. Another GameCube game that I've been looking for a while, and sometimes you can find it and sometimes you can't, and that is F-Zero GX. I love racing games, and I love my GameCube, and this is really cool find for me to get. So paid $5 for that too. Actually, I got a lot of those at one of my favorite gaming stores in Burien. If you live in the Seattle area, it's worth going down to Monster Gaming in Burien. They just have tons of old games, all for good prices. Had to pick up some PSP games based on a recommendation from somebody on YouTube. Was the Metal Slug Anthology for the PSP. I recently beat the first Metal Slug this morning. I hadn't ever played these games before. Thought it was an absolute blast. To give you an idea, when I beat the game, it said that I had 31 continues on it. So that tells you sort of how many times I died, but I had an absolute blast playing it. I love the fact that it will allow me to, continue until I beat it, so that was a lot of fun. Another game on the PSP that I had to get, this is a brand new title called Socom Fireteam Bravo 3, and I've loved every single Socom game so far. This is probably my least favorite, simply because they started adding some arcadey kind of things to it. So anyways, I just beat it last week. Decent game, but not amazing. A Nintendo DS game I've been looking for quite a while is Retro Game Challenge. And this is a fictional 8-bit kind of like retro game collection. And so this is a lot of fun. I actually had to look pretty hard for this. I think this might be kind of becoming a rare sort of game. And as a matter of fact, as I was picking up, there was somebody else who had driven all throughout the Seattle area to try to find it as well. And I just happened to be there about 5 minutes early and got the copy. So happy to get that. As far as some older games, I was able to find Blast Corps for the Nintendo 64, the N64. This is a rare soft game that I've heard good things about, and I can't wait to check it out. Then I had to get some Super Nintendo classics. One of the ones that I needed to own was Donkey Kong Country, an absolute classic. Glad I finally owned this game. Very cool. Paid $5 for it. This still has a sticker on it. It's kind of annoying. It's Gradius for the Super Nintendo. Then I got Tetris 2. I love the Tetris games. And so it's kind of cool to get this one. This reminds me of Dr. Mario an awful lot. And then finally, I got the classic Super Star Wars Return of the Jedi. This game is a pain in the ass, but it's really cool. Tons of sound effects from the actual movie. And you know, it's just cool to have it in my collection. So that's a quick look at some of the games I've picked up recently. It's not actually all of them. I probably will break this into another one maybe in another month or so. I'm always on the lookout for, you know, adding to a bunch of the consoles that I own. So thanks for watching, and talk to you later.